Hello, everybody. Happy 2019 to you all. I hope you all had an amazing time celebrating the countdown last night and you are now ready for this year that we have in front of us 2019. A year that I think is going to be absolutely massive for the traders. We're going to see really big, influential moves. I think will go down in history, in my opinion. I think we're going to see big movements this year along the cryptocurrency and the stock market. I think you can already see it starting to play out, and it's going to be really big. And I personally am so excited to be trading this space in the coming year. It's going to be massive. So this video today is not going to be a dedicated to technical analysis. It's actually going to be a video that I'm dedicating to say thank you to you all. Thank you for the support. So if you're interested in just technical analysis, and this is not video for you, this is more of an appreciation to say, thank you everybody so much for all the support that you've given me, and what I am looking to do in the 2019 year of how things are. I'm looking to move forwards with this. Let's just start off by saying, yeah, thank you everybody so much. If you didn't see my post from yesterday, this one here, which you can pause the screen and read through this. I'm going to be covering it, and I also posted it here on Twitter, so you can pause this and read through in case I missed something. But basically, I'm going to be covering this and just saying Happy New Year, everybody. I do hope that this year it will be your year. You have to take it by the horns of those balls and ride this year, because it's going to be massive. And if you put in the time and dedication, then there's no stopping you. So this isn't meant to be any sort of motivational video, but if you can take motivation from the video, then that's even better. So yeah, welcome everybody. If you're new here, maybe your 2019 resolution was to learn technical analysis, and this is your first video that you've landed upon my channel. Unfortunately, I'm not doing a technical analysis, but it is going to be a video, obviously about technical analysis. That's what I'm all about. My passion is technical analysis and looking at charts. But it's funny, over this last week, I obviously have given myself a sort of a break where I haven't been actively trading, full on like I normally would, in and out of trades all day. I've given myself a step back from a little bit of trading over these last few days of Christmas, as I expected low volatility, and we have really seen that. And it's been lovely for me to take a little bit of a step back and overview all of my charts. I've been going through years worth of data on these charts and really analyzing where we are at and how I think we're going to be moving forwards. And that was really for me a nice thing where I've taken a little bit of time off. Although I'm quite passionate about charting, and for me this is, although it is my job in hyphenated brackets, for me it's a total passion, and it's when I'm working in the day on the charts, it's not really for me a job. It's more like a hobby, and that's why I can relax, and relaxing for me is charting. I absolutely love it, and it's a massive passion for me. And this is what I was trying to say, that I've charted over this last week of looking at really big time frames and where I think the markets are going. And this is why I'm so excited for 2019, because obviously with trading you always want to have your stop losses in place, because there's no guarantees, but I have a high confidence in my setups and how this is going. But time will tell, and as always, you always want to have your stop losses because nothing is guaranteed, obviously. And I'm so looking forward to it. And if you can't tell, I've got real high energy and real high passion and excitement for this coming year, to be honest. Like, it's going to be good. But this video is not dedicated for this video is dedicated to all of you, to really say thank you for the continued support that you've shown me. It means so much to me to see every day new comments from people saying, you can go through here, see some of these testimonials. We've got quite a lot of people in here. This isn't just the main bit, and all through the YouTube comments that I get, all through the comments that I get on Twitter. Each post is just for me getting more and more active, and for me it's really lovely to see this, and to know there's people in here saying that I obviously don't know how much, how much they've been true, but when I get the comments saying that I've helped change their lives, that they are really moving forward with their technical analysis, that they're really learning, for me it's absolutely amazing. It's just to know that I have this, I have the possibility of influencing their lives in the sense of helping them learn technical analysis, for me is absolutely amazing. It's just absolutely brilliant, and to know people can turn their lives around through technical analysis, for me is just an absolute dream to be able to help. And this is where I was mentioning in this post. So in this post under the announcements, I put, you know I started this channel only 6 months ago, and it's just risen a crazy amount that I would never ever expected when I started this channel. Okay, so I started the making channel. Obviously, here was my first ever video, and this one has quite a lot of views now because I guess people have gone back and looked at my first ever technical analysis video. But my average video when I first started making them was getting between 1 and 10 views. Okay, so my average view per video was about 10 views. Okay, and that's nowhere to, I was obviously very new. Nobody knew who I was. And, I'd been trading for many years before. And the reason, this is a video that I will leave on the top right of the screen. So at the end of this video, you can click on it, or I'll leave a link in the description. And I recommend that you go and watch it because it was my second ever video. But the first, this first one was only 6 minutes in length. And this was my first proper technical analysis. And it's just really funny for me to see how much I've grown. When I was making these videos, my aim was to help people, but I obviously had such a small reach. Where, as I mentioned in here, like my average video would get about 2 views. I only had like really two, sorry, 2 views. I had about 10 views per video, and I had just 2 active subscribers who would, comment and saying like, "Wow, you're like really good." But for me, that was enough. If I could help this small, even one person, for me that was enough. If I could help that one person out and I was getting that one view, then that enough for me was enough. And the way that this channel has taken off is nothing. I never imagined that I would ever get more than like 100 subscribers. It's unreal, the speed that it's come around as well. I mean, now we're looking at, for instance, I hear on Twitter 3,400, when when I started this off, properly tweeting and stuff, I was looking at a reach of like 200. It's just absolutely crazy speed. And in this video, the reason why I recommend you come and look at it is because you can see how I've progressed from at the start here. Where sort of in this video, I mentioned why I was trying to make out, start off with it, and it was because all I saw on Twitter was, the people saying this is going to 1 million, this is going to be 500,000, this is going to be 100,000 at the end of the year, and it was just totally unrealistic expectations, and I think the whole space was really crowded by, I don't want to be mean, but I think the level of really big accounts was a very poor standard of trading. And I saw this opportunity to, make some realistic content where I had no bias on the charts. I wasn't some sort of fanatic, where I could come in and give people realistic expectation. Or, obviously none of this videos are financial advice and it's all my opinion. But I could come in and give people the opinions of, be realistic of what you're looking at on these charts. And my original videos were all quite bearish when the prices were sitting quite high. Obviously the whole sentiment was extremely bullish, and I was coming in with these videos. This second ever one that I made saying Bitcoin may hit 5,000 this year. And in this video, I mentioned that my price target, this is by no means bragging, but my price targets of the year were 5,000, they were 3,000, and they were 1.3 thousand. And obviously the 2 of the 3 targets hit, so it was extremely accurate. But this is not meant for you to go back and watch this in bragging, but for me it was just really interesting to go back and watch these videos and see how much I've come on. This is a video, if you decide to watch it in like times 1.5 speed, because it's funny, just like I speak, and here we are looking at Bitcoin here, discussing it in like such a monotone, and like it's crazy for me to see how much I've come on, because for me it's really nice to look back on these videos. And just to see the progress I've made. Obviously I'm the same trader as I was back here, but back when I first started making the videos, I had no confidence, in front of the camera making the videos. It's just interesting to see how it's come along in time. And for me, that was it's a really big personal achievement that I have managed to, come along like this. And yeah, the second bit that I want to move on to. The first was that, how this year has progressed for me, and it's increased more than I ever could imagine. And I think 2019, it's really important for me to, as I say here, to remain myself and stick to my goal of helping others. And this is why I set out originally, was just to give back to the community, help out the community. And if somebody asks a question, well, I'd like to be interested in technical analysis. Somebody can say, oh yeah, check out Daniel's videos. He's got a lot of free content. He's interested in helping. For me, it's not about the money or anything like that. It was for more to give back and help out the community, and that's the reason why it all started. And sometimes I can see myself. I'm an extremely competitive person, and when I do something, I want to be the best. So me personally, I'm extremely competitive, but and sometimes it comes across like that, I think, on Twitter, when I may occasionally make like a sarky comment of saying, I nailed this call, like, or I try and like big myself up saying, oh yeah, you look at this, and it's bad, and I think this is my personality trying to creep in, but I want to always remain, sort of. I don't want to become known as some sort of shove or anything like that, and it's important for me to not post these sort of things because they can come across in the wrong way. Although obviously my intentions are totally valid, and my real intention is just to help people. I can see how sometimes my comments can be taken a bit like they can annoy some people, so I have to be quite careful with this. And I want to remain truthful to myself and honest with myself, of sticking to my goals of helping others. Okay, so that's for me 2019. Although yes, I do expect it to increase in size, because of naturally the content that I'm going to be doing is just going to be getting better and better and better, in my opinion. Things from here can only go up. So it's important that I remain grounded, and this is something I'll work on. Obviously, I'm totally new to the social media side of things. I have no real idea of how it's all going to work, but for me, it's going to be a very exciting year. And with that said, this is a goal and a moral that I live by. So highlighting it here, here's a bit of a bigger picture. When I was saying, my moral in life, that is, everybody has to respect everybody else, because from every other individual in this world, you can learn something from somebody else. Nobody is better and nobody is worse than anybody else. We are all equal in this world, and it's important to go through life remembering that. Some people, and not mentioning any names, but that you can see people that when they really reach a certain size following, etc., throughout life, people with more money think they are better than others. And this isn't any sort of bragging, but I have the money, but I never look down on somebody, and I will give everybody the same amount of time. For me, that you're not better than somebody, and you're not worse than somebody for your money, your situations in life, for etc., etc. Everybody is equal, and I can learn something from somebody that's from a totally different background than me. And it's important that you remember this, that never think you are better or worse than somebody else. You are equal to them, and some people are just ignorant to that fact. And it's important to remain grounded, always help out others. The money will not buy happiness. Okay, that it's never going to buy you happiness. It can buy you, as I mentioned here, financial freedom, where if you have a certain amount of money, then yes, you can obviously enjoy yourself to a certain extent more, because you have that the financial freedom of pursuing what you love, not having to spend your time in a 9 to 5 corporate world. And that's where trading really is beneficial in that sort of sense, where you can detach yourself from that. Over these last few, really the last few days and week, where I've been doing my, lessons. And I've met some really interesting people. I've met people that are wanting to start technical analysis because they are becoming older and they are working in physical jobs at the moment, and their bodies are getting old. They can't continue it, obviously, working in physical labour, and they want to start technical analysis because it's a good way to make money on the side. And I've spoken to other people on the other end of the spectrum that are very young, and they're looking to join out or become a technical analyst and trader, because they don't want to be stuck into this corporate 9 to 5 world. They don't want to be a slave to the corporate world, and they want to detach from that. And I hope that people can take motivation from the way that I've come about, where I started with nothing. Everything, all my property, all the things outside of trading that I own. I wasn't given anything on a plate. I've worked extremely hard for where I am in life, and I feel obviously totally blessed for these, how this has all come together for me. But it's, I started from nothing. I worked up from the bottom, and now obviously have the financial side of things sorted in my life where people ask me, why are you still working? Why don't you retire, etc., etc. And I think it's, for me, firstly, this doesn't feel so much as a job. I take pleasure in analyzing charts. It's weird, but you know, it's just, trading can become a financial freedom. But on the other end of the spectrum, money does not equal happiness. Okay, and by going out there and helping somebody else, that will give you a real big happiness and a big joy to put a smile on somebody else's face, and that does not require money. If you see, for instance, a homeless person on the street, just having a chat with that guy will make his day. So it's not all about, maybe you go up to them with a bit of food, for example, and you get into the conversation, but just having a chat with them will make them extremely happy. And for me personally, to see somebody else happy, for me, gives me happiness. And it's not all about the money at the end of the day. It's about, your interactions, your family and your friends, are a massive influence on your happiness. And to see them happy, makes me happy. And the same with this lessons technical analysis that I'm doing, to know that I'm having an influence in somebody else's life in a positive way, for me, brings me a really big joy inside. As I think I mentioned here, it makes me feel like warm, warm inside, to know that I'm helping somebody else. And it's really crazy. And if there's one thing that you want to do, push out and try and increase somebody else's life, and you'll see the rewards, as I've mentioned before, sort of a karma. Help others, and somebody will be looking out for you at the end of the day. And in terms of friends, it's really important to surround yourself in a positive energy. So if you want to succeed and move forward in life, although not impossible, it helps if you surround yourself with other positive individuals. And I think that's what I really like about this community that we have going on. The community that I'm trying to build. Obviously, at the moment, it's very successful in terms of, it's only been going a week. We already have about 900 members. And what I like about it, it's not about the numbers for me. I'd be happy to have this community with 5 people. But for me, it's surrounding ourselves in this positive energy, within this positive space where everybody here in here is so friendly. People are asking questions, that their questions are getting answered. People are just here to say, coming over and having a chat, saying, Happy New Year, everybody. Everybody is just really friendly. And, although, yes, you have to surround yourself with your friendship and your family as well, and your positive energy. But this for me is a community that I'm trying to, build going forwards, where this is going to be a really positive space, where if in your life you're at a point where you can't surround yourself with that positive energy, and you really need to strive and get the personal side things sorted first. Trading is half mental, and you need to be at a mental state where you're ready to trade. I hope you know where I'm going. You know what I want to say about this. It's important that you first get your personal side sorted before you try and concentrate on trading. But if you are finding it hard personally in your personal life to find somebody to talk to, to find that motivation, then you can drop me a message, or just come into the chat, where I think everybody is of a like-minded thinking of me, where it's positivity is what you want in your life. And if you are not finding that, or you're in a really hard place, I've seen some messages from people where they've lost so much in this bear market, and they just needed somebody to speak to. And I'm sorry if I've become a little bit emotional in this video, but this is coming from my heart, where it's, although it's sad to see how they, this has happened to them, the way that I had been able to help them out with, like, clearly listing out what they should be looking at in their goals, and obviously none of it's professional advice. It's coming from my heart to help you personally, as I see you as a friend. It's just crazy, some of the messages that I've received, and to know that I'm having this impact, for me, is just amazing. And I'm probably going to become emotional, and this is probably really weird, but it's just, for me, it's so special to know that I have this influence in people. Um, let me just take a drink, 1 second. Ah, sorry, everybody, but this is, for me, is a passion that I have, and it's crazy. Um, just to know that I have this, I feel totally blessed, honestly, that I'm just an average guy, just a totally normal person. And it just feels really empowering and special for me that this is moving as it is. It's crazy when you just step back a second and think about it. It's crazy, and as I've mentioned, I don't think I'm ever better than anyone else. We're all on the same level, but you all have my utmost respect, even more when you're pushing yourself out here and really trying to learn. Use this year, at least for learning and the studying of technical analysis, and you're not gonna regret it. And I am so happy to help you all. It's crazy. So I hope that bit has covered this. And this is not going to be a year step. Sometimes trading is a lifelong journey as such. As was I am myself and still learning after 8 years of doing it. I still am learning every single day. When I have free time, I'll read a book and increase my knowledge. I'm somebody that always likes to learn. There's never going to be a point in my life when I've reached the top. I'm striving for more. For instance, in my personal life, I'm doing an open uni course at the same time, which is like a university from home. And this is, somebody asked me the other day, like, do I need to go uni to be successful? No, you need to do what makes you happy in life. Uni does not equal success or anything like that, and you should not be under the pressure of going to uni because somebody's told you to. This is something for me in my personal life that I always like to learn, and this is why I'm doing it. But at the same time of doing all my studies and everything like this, I've got so much going on at the moment. But I'm also doing an open uni course in Spanish and English. Just at the same time, I'm always keeping my brain active. And I think that's really important. You can never reach the top, and there's always something else you can learn, and that's why you can learn from every other person in this world. But what I want to cover here is just really quickly the donations that I've received over the last few months. Somebody made the comment saying, Dangle, why do you care about a $10 donation when you have so much money? And for me, maybe that's a valid comment, but that for me is invalidated, because for me it's not about the amount of money that I've received in a donation. It's the wow, somebody has appreciated my content enough to give a monetary donation. It's for me, it just blows me away, and it's not about the donation itself. It's more of like, wow, somebody has liked my content or learnt from my content enough to appreciate it and say, here you go, thank you. And obviously a donation is totally optional. There's never a pressure to give a donation, but when somebody has appreciated my content enough to say thank you, and here's a donation, it's not about the monetary value, it's about the way of saying thank you. And it just, when I was on live stream the other day and somebody gave that $10 donation, and I was just like, wow, thank you so much. It means the world to me to know that people appreciate the content enough to donate. And this isn't trying to become any sort of thing of saying it's sneaking in a donation or anything like that. It's just a way of like, wow, people appreciate this to give a donation. It's absolutely amazing. And as a content creator, like I am with this YouTube and Twitter and Discord, etc., etc., as that content creator, to know somebody appreciates it enough to give the donation is crazy for me, and absolutely mind-blowing. And the motivation that gives is just, it wants to me to push on to the next level, and you always be increasing my content. And this goes to the donations that I've received in Bitcoin, to my Patreons. Shout out to my Patreons here, where we obviously have the Patreon group over on Patreon, where we got the My Trading Keen, Avid and Personal students. These people, shout out, real big shout outs to you guys. Absolutely appreciated, and I hope the service that you are getting from me is going to warrant it. I'm sure it will be. Just shout out to all of you. And wrapping up the video, just a special mention to everybody here. If somebody tells you you can't do something, if somebody tells you, there are haters of technical analysis that will tell you it won't work. In my opinion, that's a lazy person that doesn't want to put in the effort. They'll sit there telling you Elliott waves don't work, Fibonacci doesn't work, technical analysis in general doesn't work, and what you should do to them is put in the effort to learn the technical analysis and show them the results. I think from me, use this as motivation that it's really clear, this is my job, and if technical analysis didn't work, I wouldn't be able to have the success financially that I've had. It would be impossible. So it's clear it does work. No financial advice, but this is why I'm trying to push out the educational side of things. If someone's telling you this, or someone's telling you don't be a trader, etc., etc., be a trader, show them, put in the effort, put in the determination, put in that hard work. And sorry everybody for that quick break, but I had a really important phone call that I just needed to take. It's wish a happy new year, and now we're back. So as I was saying, just if somebody's telling you that you cannot do something, use that as your motivation to go ahead and do it. Obviously within reason, but it's absolutely lovely feeling when you prove somebody wrong in that regards. And just that added motivation is sometimes is what you're needed to push forwards. And what is really important is that everybody is their own, is themselves. Everybody's an individual. There's no right or wrong path for you in life. You just want to choose what makes you happy. If somebody's telling you to force you down a path, at the end of the day, you need to do what it makes you happy. Your happiness is the most important thing in the world, not pleasing somebody else at the end of the day. And going back to the video and how I'm looking forward to this year is for this sort of teaching sort of side that I'm really enjoying. I read through every single comment that I get on Twitter and that I get on YouTube, okay? And although I sometimes will not have time to reply to each comment, I am reading every single one 100%, and I try my best obviously to reply. And if you have any questions at all, you can always just leave the comment here on any of the of my platforms, and be it a question just about life, be it a question, about anything, obviously specifically trading, but about, if you have anything, then just leave me a comment, and I will help you out. It's a pleasure of mine. Obviously in the Discord I have of a sort of joke towards Arsene Wenger, but le professeur, that refers to the professor, that like the teacher, and for me it's like, when I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher, and obviously I never in a million years thought it would be anything to do with technical analysis or trading. It's just lovely that the world works out like that, and your destiny. For me, it's started to come true. I can now help others out in the form of like a teacher sort of thing. It's crazy, and I'm so passionate about trading and teaching and everything in general. It's just for me, as I've said many times, just helping others out for me is better than a monetary reward. It's lovely, and it's a warm feeling that I it's really great. And wrapping the video up, it's funny in referring to haters and things like this, that my first videos, forever saw 0 dislikes. It was just appreciation, never really got any dislikes. And now suddenly, as I'm becoming bigger in the sense of more followings, more followers, my most recent video is my most disliked video ever. And it's not to do with the content. My content is forever the same, but it's starting, people have come along and they went through videos and disliked every single video that I've done, and I have no idea what their motivation is of trying to whether they want me to stop. Some people are saying it's because I have no idea, but because people are realizing that they don't need to be in their paid group anymore. And this is speculation, obviously, of them, the paid groups paying people or whatever to come and dislike my stuff and try and put me off in that way. But no amount of dislikes or anything like that is going to put me off. And this is my passion now. I'm really passionate about teaching, and it's for me, it's really enjoyable. And these dislikes are of no importance to me. So just wrapping up this video now, go back and I'll leave it on the top right where you can go back and watch one of my first ever technical analysis videos, where here you can see the targets I had of this year, roughly 5,000, 3,000 and 1.3. Obviously the first two hit very nicely. But this is an interesting watch to see the difference of this video to what it has now, and try and use that as in motivation in itself. It's crazy the difference in video. But ending this video with a really, really, really big thank you to you all. You don't know how much it means to me, honestly, to read through the comments every day of just the appreciation. The positivity for me is I use it as motivation. When I see these positive comments, I read them and I use that for motivation of bringing you the content that you deserve, the content that you need. When I first started trading, and in my first year I lost 50% of my money, okay? I think it's always important that losses are natural in life, and you need to learn from your losses. Of the past year, remember the highs, remember the great times, with your friends and family, or trading. Remember those times and cherish those times. But also, take those losses, remember the losses, and learn from those losses. Okay, it's so important that you do that, otherwise you will continue to make the same mistakes. And bringing this back to trading, in my first year of trading, I lost 50% of my money. you know and I think this is very normal for a newer trader. I started out trading, I was quite young, obviously, when I started trading. I was very inexperienced. I just went into the market thinking that I would, make money, and that was not the case. In my first year, I lost 50%, but that was my motivation of like, right, I need to actually study now, work harder. And, I spent the next 1.5, 2 years, like, just proper studying, reading every single book of technical analysis that I could find, watching videos on YouTube and bringing it all together and forming my own strategy, because there's not a right or a wrong trading strategy. Taking bits from all different books, all different content, and building it and morphing it into your own is so important. With this, what I'm trying to say is, if I had been able to find content like I'm trying to produce now when I first started out, it would have been so beneficial. It's hard to find a person, in my opinion, that has really good intentions, and it's not an underlying intention of money or etc etc. I'm not going to go into that, but there's some people out there you just have to be careful of that. They don't have true intentions, I believe, and it's sad, and but it's their hustle, it's their life. You just have to be careful with who you pick in life. It's that's important. But keeping it all positive, just smash 2019. Use it as this as your year to move forwards. And I don't have a clue how long I've been speaking in this video, but it was a lot longer than what I originally planned. I thought this was going to be like a 5-minute video, and it's just gone on and gone on. And I apologize for that. I respect all of your time. And it's obviously New Year's Day. You don't want to be spending any more time on this video, so I respect that, and I'm going to be wrapping it up. And it's just another absolute thank you to you all. You don't know how much it means to me. It's crazy. It's a journey. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's brilliant. And trading will always be my main passion. It absolutely love watching these charts and trading off of the charts and the patterns. It's amazing. Thank you all so much for the support, everybody. I'm going to say it again, it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, the support, and totally, blown away by it. It's nothing I ever imagined I would have seen. So yeah, thank you so much for the support throughout 2019. Throughout 2018, and here's to 2019, where we will increase as a community together. If you are here with me, then you are in my community. I've built some really nice friendships through just the forums, etc. It's powerful that you can make friends now in this century that we're in. We're in a digital revolution here of Bitcoin. And also friendship, and I believe I have made some really nice friends, strong friendships through this space, and that's what I want to continue to do, continue to try and build this really nice community that we have going on here. And everybody is welcome, everybody at all. So come along, say hello, join the community, and have a good time. Thank you, everybody, again. From the bottom of my heart, from the absolute bottom of my heart, thank you. I mean that with the complete sincerity, and it's completely true. Like, thank you so much. And this is not trying to be condescending. Honestly, thank you. That's the end of the video. Yeah, with another thank you again. Have a great 2019, everybody. And yeah, come and say hello. Give me a nice comment. Hit that thumbs up. You all know the normal gag. Cheers, everybody, and yeah, I'll leave the video if you're interested in watching one of my first ever videos, officially the second. I'm still sitting at 43 views. Be my guest. Thank you, everybody, and catch you tomorrow, likely the second, where I'm going to be heading back into full-on trading mode. I've missed the full-on trading mode, and it will be back, tomorrow. So cheers, everybody, and I'll catch you then. Thank you so much.